we bought the Nintendo Wii for my youngest sibling. So there I was doing the hacking, downloaded so many games, Zelda, Mario Kart, Super Mario Galaxy. Bro, I'm getting nostalgia just thinking about this. And so after we downloaded all the games and stuff, my youngest sibling was like super happy. But Zelda, the game was colorless. And for a few months, by the way, they were playing the game colorless. Like a black and white screen in 2025 is crazy. So one time I was like, you know what, let me just see what happens if I try this, play with that, tweak this a little bit. And for the first time, the game had color. And my hair's getting in the way. And when my sibling found out that the screen actually had color, they were freaking out in a way that I've like never expected. I was like, why are you freaking out so much that the screen has color? And I actually sat back for a moment and just, I couldn't help but smile. I was genuinely admiring the fact that she was so excited and grateful for something so simple. It's just color on a screen. Like if someone were to hear that, I'd just be like, okay, not a big deal. And then it hit me. When you're deprived of something, doesn't matter what it is. When you're deprived of something, when Allah like blesses you with it, your level of gratitude and appreciation will be so sincere and genuine on a whole nother level. And now to you, how does this relate to you, being a Muslim who's on his deen but lacks the ambition to genuinely pursue his goals? The problem with you is that you're a spoiled brat. Now, not like these rich people where they're arrogant and they're just ungrateful. No, you have some modesty, alhamdulillah. But you're spoiled to the point where you're given so many of these pleasurable things, so many of these like subtle blessings. And what I mean, like, you don't see them as blessings, but like video games, social media, all these things spoil you to the point where they put you in a situation where you're too comfortable. And when you're too comfortable, naturally your mind's going to register that as, yeah, we don't have to work that hard. We have what we need. And naturally, because you're being spoiled by all these things and you're living in comfort, even though you're praying and you're on your deen, your ambition is going to go down. You're going to feel the lack of motivation to conquer your goals because your brain's already registering as, like, when you procrastinate, your problem is that you reward your procrastination without you realizing it. You end up hating yourself after. But what I mean is, let's say you want to work, you want to study, you want to read Quran, whatever like hard work that you're trying to do. You sit down, you work, you get distracted. Then you stop doing the work. And that distraction is usually something pleasurable. And the brain sees pleasure as something good. And pleasure is basically a reward for your brain, for your nafs. And so what's rewarded is repeated. So when you procrastinate, you usually tend to procrastinate getting distracted by something pleasurable. And that pleasurable thing is seen as something rewarding. And so what's rewarded is repeated. So when you procrastinate, you're rewarding your procrastination. And so you keep repeating the cycle of procrastinating. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be, having like no ambition to pursue your goals, to having the ambition and fire and being that productive guy that you've been wanting to be, the bridge between this guy and this guy is fasting mentally. If overindulging destroyed your ambition, then fasting will revive your ambition. I want you to think about what you eat mentally. Mentally, yeah? Because what happens is, let's compare these two. When you eat actual food and it goes into your belly, okay, like you're being a fat cell like me, you just eat a bunch of stuff, all your energy is going to go towards digesting that. So when you eat mentally, different forms of food, like for your mind, involves information. Fasting from dopamine, fasting from sinning. When you fast from all these specific areas of your life, you're going to realize how overfed you are as a person. Like, why do you think poor people are genuinely so happy and humble? Because they're deprived of so many things, but look at how they look at life, how they perceive things. So your problem is that you're overfed by all these different sources in your day-to-day life. So the solution is the opposite. If overindulging destroyed your ambition, fasting will revive your ambition. And it's going to be so uncomfortable and so weird when you kind of just like stay away from it for a bit. You might get sucked back into it. The mindset that I really want you to have, and this is what helped me so much. Cold turkey didn't work. Nothing worked except this one mindset. And hopefully it worked for me, so it genuinely has to work for you. Incrementally lower the amount of bad habits that I'm indulging in. So like, let's say if I had 10 Oreos, that was my daily routine. 10 Oreos and just a whole stack. What I do is I went from having 10 Oreos to saying I'll still have Oreos, but I'll only have half. Let's say I'm playing FIFA. I used to play 3 hours. The thing that got me hooked was let me just win the next game. So what I did was I'll still play FIFA, but I'm like literally I tell myself like I'm only gonna play 2 games. Win or lose, I'm hopping off the PS5. That's a done deal. And then once I solidify that habit, which didn't take too long, just like literally in a week, then I was like, I'm comfortable to reduce whatever I have now. So I went from playing 2 games of FIFA, eating 5 Oreos, to be like, just 1 game, just 2 Oreos. It's like a long term plan that is guaranteed to succeed. You can try go cold turkey. It might work for you. It didn't work for me. But I always failed and just like messed up and I thought it didn't work. And then months went by, I didn't even try anything again. So I'm saying this is a long term thing that is guaranteed to work. I want you to genuinely try this out because this stuff actually works. And once you realize that, hopefully by then I'd have gained your trust. And what I want you to do when it works for you, inshallah, is come to this video, scroll down, leave a like maybe. You can dislike it if you want, bro. I don't even care. Dislike it if it doesn't work for you. All right? Genuinely don't care. But hopefully, if I actually gained your trust, feel free to join my school community, bro. I have so much more value that I'm going to provide only in there, inshallah. Don't buy into your emotions and justify it with logic. Assalamu alaikum.